Alrighty, what is going on, macro perspective peeps? Seamus here with another episode with Marcos. Man, I'm excited for this one today. But before we get into that, do me a favor, team. Go ahead, like, comment, and share. This is going to be a special one for us today. The thing we're going to get into is I got a special guest on. He's a friend, and we met in jiu-jitsu with our professor Eric out in Oxnard, kind of California, doing our thing, a little bit of the jits. But my man here, Bryan Nguyen, has gotten gotten a little famous, gotten a little popularity. He's got that prestige on the YouTube, as you can see with the plaque in the back. He had 1 million followers for doing something so bold, yet so fun. And it is shaving his head. That's his rise to fame. But I had to reach out to him because I wanted to congratulate him on 100 mil. And I had to ask him to get here because how did he catch that virality? We had to ask him and all that. But Bryan, man, thank you so much for being on today. And I just really feel honored to have you here. Would you mind just introducing yourself to the audience and just kind of like what you're doing, what you're up to, what you're excited about, man?
Of course. My name is Bryan. Also, on all platforms, I'm also known as Bitesized Bryan. So yeah, like Seamus said, I just started shaving my head and became super viral all of a sudden. So I guess I could I could start with a story of how I started shaving my head. I've been shaving my head on and off since high school. I used to have like a big bowl hair, kind of like Bruce Lee hair in high school, and I decided to cut it off because it was getting in the way. Because I was in track, I was a pole vaulter, and I also
Mhm.
did like football, and my hair was just getting in my eyes, and I didn't like it. So I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll just cut it off. And then starting in college, um, the One Punch Man anime came out, and I was really really inspired, and I started just full on uh, with cream, with shaving cream, and a straight razor, just shaved everything off. And then once I graduated college, I started shaving my head a lot more, and I was inspired by this one guy named Goki, which I'm really good friends now. I'm really good friends with now. He lives in Japan. He also shaves his head, but on only the top of his head, kind of like a samurai. And I watched one of his TikToks, and he's pretty famous as well. And I was like, you know what? Let me try doing the same thing, but my own way. So I started doing it, and it started gaining a little bit traction. And then I just went with it. I'm just consistent with it. Sorry, my little cat's right here. I just became more consistent with it. Just post 3 times a week, at least 3 times a week, uh, since March of or early April 2022, and I started posting on TikTok, got a little bit, momentum, and then I started posting on YouTube, got more momentum there, and here we are.
Man, so what's the best video you've had in terms of viewership? It's like my first question.
They're all kind of this, so all my videos are kind of relatively the same, but I've noticed that um, I think I forgot to mention that when I do shave my head, I do cosplay as different characters, like Caillou or uh, One Punch Man, Saitama, or Black Adam, or my audience calls it Asian Adam or Asian Mr. Clean. And the most famous characters that get the most views has been One Punch Man, because I kind of embody that character, and surprisingly, Black Adam. Sometimes Caillou. Those videos do the best. Or if I do something really wacky, I shave sometimes with a green screen. I'll put some wacky stuff on the green screen, and then it'll just catch their eye, and they're like, "Oh, why is there like furries in the background?" and stuff like that.
That's crazy. Like, uh, when did you say like the more so the virality kind of started? Like, was there like a huge surge at some point, like from the beginning to now, like
Yeah.
where you just noticed that steam?
So it's different for each platform. I think when I started posting on TikTok, and immediately it just started blasting off. And then YouTube, I started posting on YouTube at the same time, or a little bit after, maybe like 2 months after. I think I already had like 5,000 subs, and then it kind of just bounced off a little bit. For some reason, I think last year when I went to Anime Expo and just started posting a little bit more, within a few days, it went from 5K subs to like 250K within days, and I was like, "This is nuts. This is really this is really nuts."
Like an
So
Anime
that was my
Expo did that
peak.
for you in a few days? Wow.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the algorithm. I don't know if something happened with my phone and just, I was just paired up with someone's phone. They're like, you know, I gotta watch this guy's content. But yeah, it spiked up super rapidly and quick, and that was my peak. And then I started posting on Facebook. And oh, sorry, I think my cat wants to get out. Give me 1 second.
We have a quick intermission. Do 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 do.
Sorry about that. Anyways, and I started posting on Facebook. Gave me a little bit of a spike too, up to like 23K, but I'm stuck there because I guess Facebook is a little bit more weird on their algorithm and the way they pay creators. So I still post on it, but I just don't get that virality anymore. And then I also post on Instagram. Same thing. Everything is mostly short form. I think the short form is really good for gaining that sub count. Um, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I
But
think
now I'm
you're.
more focused on the long form content on YouTube because that's where most of the money making is at. Personally, for me.
Mm, can you maybe explain the differences of why like the long form is necessary for monetization versus like the short form for, I guess, virality's sake or subscriber count?
Um, so this is my opinion. I don't really exactly know, but from what I'm seeing, well, short form on YouTube, um, to me, it pays a little less than a long form because it's a little bit new. Unless you're like mega famous or like a really really big YouTuber, obviously they'll make a lot more than I do. But I also believe that short form content, it gets people like their attention span. I'm sure you guys scroll on TikTok and you just keep on scrolling, new stuff just pops up and you're really interested. And it's only for like a few seconds instead of 20 minutes. And I want to tap into the long form videos because like I guess you could compare to like Mr. Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm sure he's posted some analytics, like ad revenue wise, they do really well. Like I don't know, 100 million views is like $250,000 or something like that. So tapping into that market is awesome. Like getting like 2 million views. I'm just gonna guess like that's like $6,000 depending on who's watching it too. On like for example, if someone's watching it from India compared to like United States. Uh, I think the metric is RPM. It depends on like the RPM. Like maybe the RPM in the United States is a little bit more than the RPM in in India or something like that. Like they'll pay 5 cents or 10 cents per view in the United States compared to like 3 cents in India or Russia or any of those countries.
Gotcha. So then, because you can put more ads inside of a video that's a little bit longer, technically speaking, is that generally where you're getting like extra view rate, driving
Ye-
up the per cost per video?
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, I guess it depends on the companies that pay for the ads, not necessarily me. I'm just putting content. Whoever is putting ads on my videos, I'm making money from it.
That's pretty crazy. So you actually have no idea like which ads are getting funneled into your
I
videos.
do not. I think it depends on you, like you, the viewers watching it. Like for example, if you're really into cars, you get ads for cars.
Mm, okay. So then you got up to this million subscriber mark. Your views are, it's like something that keeps you like passionate. But is this the only thing you're doing now, or do you still have another job?
Yeah. So I was talking to Seamus earlier. I currently have a 9 to 5. I work as an engineer for the Navy. That's my full time job. But this side hustle I'm doing is like it's like my baby. I'm trying to make this I'm trying to make this my full time job. But
Mm-hmm.
realistically, I can't unless, I see a consistent uh revenue stream that's a 3 times multiplier or 4 times multiplier with my current job. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I have this saying that I always follow. I forgot where I got it from, but my 9 to 5 is what keeps me alive, but my 5 to 9 is what makes me feel alive. So I follow that all the time, and that kind of, even though I'm burnt out sometimes from running like 10Ks every day, I'm always trying to strive. I know that YouTube or social media could help me or potentially help me grow even bigger and be my main source of income.
Got it. So it's not to the point where it's like 3 or 4xing consistently enough, even with a million subscribers. Because I mean, from the outside perspective looking in, I would have assumed like a million subscribers is going to be netting someone, potentially a full time job. It feels like it's like a really hard thing to get up to, and maybe
That's
it is
what
a
I
second full
thought
time
too.
job, right?
That's what I thought too. But it's different for each creator, in my opinion. Maybe it's it's possible that someone with 300K subs is making way more than I am. It just depends. I know subs is important. I'm grateful that I reached that goal, but uh, for monetization wise, it's not always like the main. How should I say? It's not the main source. Sometimes people are not watching my videos, or not, they're just not getting recommended onto their feed or something like that. So there's a lot to look into for me. I thought to myself like, oh, I reached a million, but I still work a 9 to 5. So
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it's it's pretty crazy though. I mean, like again, like this is just like, yeah, us the layman, right? Like this is like again something that you've grown to like what most would deem a very like difficult level, right? Like I don't know. Do you know like how many people actually have a million subscribers on YouTube? Is there a
I
number?
know several,
You know
and
several.
I've
Okay.
I, I've collabed with them. And yeah, I've collabed with several. I know some of them are doing really well. I know some that are kind of like in the same boat as me, probably doing earning a little bit more, but kind of the same boat. We're not millionaires yet, but we're trying.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
says it says here,
I had to look at
Marcos, it says
32,300.
32,000 YouTube, but that's only 0.028%. You're in the top 1%, Brian. Like, think about that. But you do make a good point about like, oh, I hit a mill on YouTube and maybe across all platforms, maybe different things. But that doesn't mean I'm monetized, right? That doesn't mean I'm leveraging
Yeah,
that
I'm
in the
not
way.
monetized the same way as someone, for example, I don't know who's a good example. Grand Stefan. I used to watch him a lot, and when he was at a million subs, he was basically making a ton of money because people are watching his long form videos.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this is when Shorts hasn't been out yet, because I think
Yeah.
Shorts, YouTube Shorts, it does pay me. Like it does. I get monetization from it, but in my opinion, it's not the same is if I put out a long form video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe it would
Yeah.
change in the future because it's still new. But the thing about YouTube Shorts is that, or like TikTok, is that it provides a lot of exposure, because that's
Mhm.
how you get all the subs.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also
In
too,
my personal yeah.
I think also too, like a Graham Stephan, because I watch his stuff. I mean, he a lot of his stuff was around real estate at first, right? Business. He's got the iced coffee hour. So I mean, I know he's probably funneling people into maybe whatever his business stuff was before, whether it's like a business course or even, um, different affiliates. Whether you sign up through like an affiliate thing about like finances or something like that, right? Um, I know affiliations are important, but they don't pay. They don't pay like, they probably pay like for any time someone buys a product, it's like you get a little chump change in the bank
Yeah.
account, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. It's not as much, but it's better than nothing for sure.
Let me ask you then. So now that you've gone through, hey, I've hit this millie. I've been doing this thing. What is the transition now that you've hit this million? I know you said you're trying to change it up a little bit.
Yeah. So I've been shaving my head, doing the same thing since for like a year, more than a year and a half now. And I thought to myself, man, am I going to just keep doing this? Because for me personally, it does take time to shave my head. I edit everything myself. I tried hiring my friend as an editor, but I saw that I wasn't consistently making, I don't know, $1,500 and then $200 like each month from ad revenue from shorts. And I'm like, man, I'm just kind of losing money here.
Mhm.
So I thought to myself, hey, what should I do? What's the next thing instead of shave my head? Should I get into the ASMR genre, which I kind of tried, but I figure it's not really for me. But now my philosophy is, I want to do something that I like to do, and doesn't matter what the numbers are. I'm just going to keep on doing what I love and see if it hits. If it doesn't hit, I'm just going to keep doing new things that I love. So now the transition is, um, I'm doing these challenges for 100 days. Kind of like it's an idea popped up in my head, and to um, to put something into that, my following has been really curious, and it's like the big mystery on what I look like with hair. I've only grown out my hair a couple of times. Uh, the longest I've grown my hair is in high school. So how can I put that mystery? Because that's one big thing that the viewers like is mystery. For example, the creator Dream, he's been or putting videos out, and he just worn a mask for several years, and finally he took off his mask. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, he finally took off his mask and shown his face." It's kind of the same idea. What does bite-sized Brian look like with hair? So for the next 100 days, I kind of started on Monday. For the next 100 days, I'll be growing out my hair, but while doing that, I'll be doing the One Punch Man workout. And One Punch Man is my favorite character, and a lot of my viewers kind of see me embody that character, because I do like work out a lot. So I'll be within 100 days. As I grow out my hair, I'll be doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10 kilometer run every single day, except for Sundays, because I'm reserving that for stretching and mobility. And within those 100 days, I'm just going to document my progress, see how I do. I might change it up. I might do 100 pull-ups instead of 100 push-ups, do different variations of push-ups. I'm no health expert whatsoever. I even tell my audience in the beginning of the video, I'm not a fitness expert. I'm just a regular dude. I'm not a personal trainer. Don't take any advice from me. I'm just working out for my benefit. And, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it works out, it works out. So, and yeah, I want to post like 10-day updates, 20-day updates, long form videos, and potentially I'll do other workout challenges like the Naruto workout challenge for 100 days or Bleach workout challenge. And this will transition into different other stuffs, coding for 100 days, stuff like
Oh,
that.
when you
I know I'm
skill for
rambling,
100
but
days, dang, that's the first off, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, um, and then 6.21 miles. That's wildin'. I definitely recommend some pull-ups in there once in a while, just so you have a push-pull balance. You don't want to be push dominant.
exactly.
So probably every third day do 100 pull-ups, probably. Um, but man, Sundays. I would definitely take Sundays for rest because I'm like, man, 6.21. What's the mileage on
Yeah.
that? Like you're running like 36 miles a week. Sheesh, that's some good
36
miles.
miles.
I've done it
Gosh,
before
man.
and I could do it again.
Yeah, just 100
Shoot.
times.
Yeah, no big deal. I mean,
No
my
big
feet
deal.
hurt thinking about it, let alone trying to actually do it. So you got your work cut out for you, Brian.
Gosh, dang. But
But
I like the 100. I like that 100 though, Marcos. Right?
you know what's funny? I have another guest I want to get on. His name is Royce, and he's been doing Murph every day he's going 1,000 days straight. He's done
Whoa.
Murph,
That's
yeah.
rough.
1 mile run with a vest, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and another 1 mile run. He's at day like 780 right now.
Yeah.
So this dude has
I've
literally
done the
done it for
Murph. That's rough.
right. I know. Can you imagine doing it every single day though? Like
Yeah.
he's been documenting it too. So like he just has like some short form, like all right, getting it started, and like we'll just post that like as that library builds. And I'm assuming that's going to be a world record because I don't know anybody else that's done 1,000 days of this particular thing. Um, and that's where
Royce
same with
Lagerta.
you. Yeah, Royce Lagerta. Yeah, and it's cool though because it's like once you start challenging yourself and you just kind of find some stuff, you're just like, all right, cool. Like 3 exercises I'm doing 100 per day plus my run is basically what you're kind of alluding to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then other people in your network could just be inspired that you just picked 3 freaking easy bodyweight movements and just get it done every day, and you look like you're in tremendous shape. You know what I mean? You have the platform to like hopefully have people just
Yeah.
tune in and get inspired because now they were originally inspired by, like you said, your draw with like the character, and now there's like something new. And the thing that we actually had with another content creator, this exact discussion, as soon as a creator starts delving into some new territories potentially with their audience, that you might lose a good deal because you've now lost the identity of what drew them there in the first place, which I found really interesting. But also too is like, all right, well, he's no longer doing the head shaving component or the other videos that got you your virality. So then like your audience can almost put you in a box, but it sounds like you're listening to them too. It's like, I'm gonna grow out my hair for 100 days plus something else and see if the other thing kind of works with it, so that you still have that other like core identity that people have fallen in love with.
Yeah. It's a big risk. I know I'm taking a big risk, but I just know that I'm kind of thinking more of the positive side, more than the negative.
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do this, what am I giving to the audience? One is motivation, inspiration. Uh, People have done this challenge before for 100 days, but none of them have embodied the character like I have. Have you? I'm not sure if you've seen my Instagram, but I've
Yeah.
cosplay as this character at conventions,
Yeah.
and most of the people that go up to me, they fall in love with the character. They're like, man, this is the most realistic One Punch Man ever. I'm like, if people see me as this character, I might as well embody him for a short period
Yeah.
of time and inspire others. Inspire my audience, motivate them.
Yeah. No, I freaking love it. I mean, because what is your audience like? Do you know uh, the kind of like the breakdown of your audience? Is it like younger, young adult,
Very mixed.
or mixed? Okay.
Um,
Um.
Very mixed. On TikTok for sure, it's a lot more younger.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, from what I've noticed, like when I go to conventions, a lot of younger children go up to me and they're like, "Oh, it's Saitama, it's the guy that shaves his head." That kind of warms my heart. But
Yeah.
there are also a lot of, from what I've seen, the biggest age range is 18 to 24, which is
Okay.
good range.
I think it's a great range because now you have kids looking at you and they can see, shoot, Saitama's doing it. I got to do it. And then, 18 to 24, I mean, that is inspiring for an 18 to 24-year-old because sometimes, I've been there. Some 18 to 24-year-olds, they just kind of feel kind of lost post high school or kind of being in the mix in college or just kind of finding themselves in life, right? And to have that consistency, to have someone that can not only entertain them, but inspire them, I think is really cool. And what I was actually super curious about, though, which I was going to say, Marcos, the 100 days to learn a skill thing, Bryan,
Mm-hmm.
dude, you're going to be like in like the next iteration of Bryan in 2024, 2025. Not only did he do the workouts, he did coding, he learned a language, he learned to write with his other hand. I don't know, there's so many skills that you
Yeah.
can learn. Dude, what are some outside of the workout sphere that you're thought of? I know you said coding. What are some other ones that you might have thought of probably?
Yeah, so yeah, this will slowly transition to it because it also targets another big principle is education. People
Yeah.
want to watch
Mm,
because it's educational. But I want to get back into learning how to code for 100 days and see how it goes. Let's see. I'm a mechanical engineer and I work with this program called SolidWorks a lot. Um, I'm pretty proficient in it, but I want to be more advanced. I might as well relearn
mhm.
it again for 100 days and see what kind of big things I could make. I know Seamus, you see me 3D print stuff. I want to get back into that and see what I could do.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
By the way,
see,
by the way,
maybe
guys,
do.
if you're
Mhm.
in the LA area, get 3D printed. Like I got a 3D printed Nightwing mask, which I still have. I embody Nightwing because of you, dude. So I should probably do 100 days of acrobatics like Nightwing Excrema. Get back to my Excrema.
Yeah,
100 days of that Nightwing training. Hey
yeah.
That's
guys, you
dope.
gotta hit up Bryan for sure. He 3D prints some great masks.
I try my best. It's not the best, but I try my best.
I love mine.
Yeah.
I love mine.
I think it's a great thing though, like you said about the, especially with that, if that's the target demo of like you got to continue to go back to the skills and like refresh them or get them to expert status. You know what I mean? And that's been something that like coming out of college, I was just like, yeah, I think I'm done learning. And then like in the last couple of years, it's been like I don't, I haven't learned enough of everything that I thought I knew or whatever. Like kind of was feeling like that imposter syndrome, right? Like you're like, I know I'm proficient enough that like most people could ask me to make something, but what if I got like really good at it? Like you just said with the SolidWorks or other CAD software or the coding languages or all those different things that are really just going to bolster a potential like skill set for any career or job. And it's I think again because that's the age range that typically watches your stuff. A lot. I mean, Ryan, how old are you?
I'm 25. I'm about to turn 26 like in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. So like, have you been doing a lot of like self discovery of between 18 and 24? Like,
A little bit. I feel like it's more after college. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
after college and now actually because I'm doing this stuff and the metrics do mess with your head,
Mm,
especially when it's on a like for example, I'm on a decline right now with all the views. I mean, I'm not trying to get that in my head, but because I've dealt with it before, I'm like, man, what am I doing wrong? My views are like super low. I'm not getting subscribers. So that's also a contribution to the mental health, but at the same time,
oh
you
yeah.
just got to keep grinding and it's just business.
Yeah. Ebbs and flows, man. I mean, fuck, 25 going on 26. I mean, granted for me it was a little bit earlier when I felt that like ebb and flow of like losing clients, which is a very similar kind of feeling where you're like, this person's leaving, what did I do wrong? And you take it all very personally. And it does take time to understand, like, even seasons of your own life to understand maybe my content wasn't as like like thought out as it needed to be, and it led to that thing. And you can probably find patterns in yourself that reflected in the work, as weird as that sounds. And again, I think it boils back to what you were saying. Taking these risks for something you're more passionate about is probably like, where you actually have been needing to go all along. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then as you start doing more of the things you enjoy and like putting out there, instead of just embodying a character, boom, next thing you know is like these people again are re-engaged because you bring more to the table, right? Like,
Exactly.
it's hard, like as a consumer, like if you think about it from like the psychological lens, right? I run into this with clients all the time. They leave and they come back and they're expecting something different. Yet at the same time, with nutrition, it's still X's and O's. It's still the same basic shit every single time. But like, there's no magic pill that really solves the solution. There's just levels of motivation for individuals. And now learning that, it's like, hey, are you motivated right now or not? You're going to waste my time because I don't want to waste yours and your money. And, it's like you become more direct as you gain a little bit more age, and not even that much older than you, but 5 years makes a substantial difference at this point. Because hell, I was bringing a kid into the world when I was like 25, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah, right. I got started young, dude.
Sorry, I
Granted,
have a kid right now.
well, but it brought the perspective. I was like, damn, I wish I was as creative as I am now at 30 as I was when I was 24. But like, I also didn't have the drive I do now because I didn't have anything to work for. You know what I mean? You have things to work for, and it could be analytics. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, oh shit, like why isn't like that's the nice thing about the numbers is like they don't really lie. But if you also notice a trend, if things are changing in view rates and stuff, again, I mean, you're saying you're becoming more proficient in coding and whatnot. Like it's always these things are constantly changing, and we're always trying to make a game or pattern out of it. And if anybody ever gave us the keys to the city with the algorithm, we would know exactly what to do, but they never do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, hey, Bryan, I know we were doing more of a short form here today. I wanted to ask you,
Ironically enough.
ironically enough, let me ask you this. Anything else you'd like to kind of send out to the uh, audience there where they can find you, what you're excited about now, and yeah, anything like that, man.
Let's see. I mean, I guess the only thing is to check out my YouTube channel. That's where I'm going to be posting, and my TikTok, and obviously Instagram. They're all Bite-Sized Bryan. That's my handle. I'll be posting more, just like kind of different stuff. I don't know if your audience watches my stuff already, but now it's going to be a little bit more different. Um, and if someone out there just wants to start something, I'm working a 9 to 5. My job is okay, but it's not my passion. If you have a passion out there, like I said, your 9 to 5 is what keeps you alive, but on the side, your 5 to 9 is what makes you feel alive. Do something that makes you feel alive and keep it consistent and never stop, and potentially that new thing, your 5 to 9, will blow up somehow, and you'll be just doing something you love. It won't be even a job anymore. Something like that.
Yeah, no, I love it,
That's good,
man.
man.
I love it.
Yeah, you were, or say it again one more time. I want to get it down because I like that.
Your 9 to 5 is what keeps you alive, but your 5 to 9 is what makes you feel alive.
Got it. Perfect title for this episode too. In a way, we gotta probably shorten
That's
it
a
a little
long
bit.
title.
It's a long title. So like nine to
100 days of
five
your 5 to
live.
9. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not bad.
I didn't do my workout yet, so I'm most likely going to do it within an hour. I usually do it at like 5 in the morning. I'll run a 10K, and then I'll do push-ups later during the day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
I mean, you know what
But
I'm gonna have
no,
to do?
man.
I'm gonna have to do 100 days of night wing training. I'm gonna have to get back into gymnastics and
Yeah.
calisthenics or something. Go back to rings.
Hey, 100 days of something. I think it's a good call to action, though. We're in call to action people here. Let's pick a way to do 100 days of something. I'm already 11 days into rowing my face off, so I might as well just make it
Good.
100. So I think I'll start documenting it in your honor, Brian. So I'm like, I'm already doing this. I have a spreadsheet and everything. I got to find a way to capture it, like with video content, though. But again, like, will I be better for it? Do I see improvements? Hell, I know that I'm burning a ton of calories, so I can kind of eat whatever I want, which is kind of nice. So, and it's not really as much of a time sink as a lot of people make it out to be. When you do start, kind of prioritizing like a smart goal with it. So I think you kind of set the tone with your 100-day. You always know what the time frame is. Now you just have to make like the specifics. I don't know how you're going to quantify like getting good at coding. Like by the end of 100 days, I'm going to try to code an app, or I don't know. Sounds like
Exactly.
you're going to, yeah, like having like something that is like tangible at the end, how close you get. So then people are like interested in you finishing something. It would interest me. Hell, I just watched the Mr. Beast video. He's like, I got one person from every country in the, in the world to come do this challenge. And you're just like, all right, like how the hell did he pull off that logistically? And you start thinking about, I put my creator hat on. He's like, I bet you he flew all these people out. I wonder how much he paid in airline tickets. And then he's like, everybody that did this from the X amount of countries, I paid them $2,000, right? Like just insane. I was like, just his budget alone for like production is insane. But I don't know. That's like, it keeps me interested. Actually, the people that are like the creator type, as I start to like go into a channel and think about it with that type of like, where are they drawing inspiration and how are they keeping people like in their network, is actually really intriguing. So you got me intrigued about the challenge part for sure.
Yeah.
Not like a huge, if it was more DBZ stuff, like the Krillin stuff, I'd probably be like, yeah, like this guy would probably hook me in
Do
for a little
cosplay
while.
as him.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I haven't really watched any of the newer age, like anime stuff personally. I was a big DBZ guy as a kid. And I think I watched some of the dubbed and no, the subbed ones, the Japanese one with the newest like arc, but
Yeah.
that's about it because it's like nostalgic. So I'm a little bit of a nerd too, Seamus. There you go. There's my insert my like anime stuff there.
You're doing the mainstream though. You got to go a little more periphery. Then you'll be one of us.
Bro, I hardly have enough time to get in like a walk by myself these
Nah,
days,
you don't need. Yeah,
let
get into
alone
a
trying to
whole
like
arc,
get into like
30
a
years
whole
of
arc
anime.
of that. Oh,
Yeah, don't even
it's
worry.
so
I'm just
vast.
messing with you. Just messing with you.
Yeah. But Brian, yeah, thanks for coming on, and I apologize
Not a
again. Tell the
problem.
audience this is my tardiness with other stuff that was going on today. Um, but it definitely, with the different creators that we've had on, just to understand kind of like the story and also like the psychology and the things that you have to think about as a creator as you take on new challenges, it's definitely put in like a whole new lens for me on the outside, thinking like, how would it feel to be that person? And people like you that share that experience definitely make it seem like, again, it's not easy work whatsoever. um, and then
No
you've
cakewalk.
well deserved it. No, you've obviously well deserved that plaque that's in the background right now, because
The gold one is supposedly coming soon.
yeah,
So
that's the 10K one, right?
that's a 1 million.
No. That's the one you have in the background. Is
Oh,
like
that's the
they don't have
100K.
like 100K. That's right. You got to get from 100K, then you got to 10X it in order to get to the gold plaque. Yeah, yeah.
Then the next one
But
after that is 10 milli, right?
Yes. I don't
was
know
that platinum?
what's after that. I don't
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe I think it's like an actual play button.
really? People have 100 million subscribers?
Mr. Beast.
Is he the only one?
No, there's like PewDiePie and a few other people.
And they have something unique because there's like all of 4 people that have it.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah. But all right, guys. Well, obviously we've dived into this landscape of like the creator today, and this has obviously been kind of a theme of people we've had on here recently, and it's great to understand that the individuals such as Brian have a very good understanding of creating and curating stuff for a niche, which has been a topic of conversation in a lot of our podcast episodes. And again, when I'm going to quote Mike Krausen here, when you cast a net that's too broad, you capture nothing. But when you have something that's a little more like specific, then you're able to actually get the right nibbles. So he said it much better than and more eloquent than that. But basically, if you find the lane that you're good at and people are drawn to, find a way to continue to tap into that, because that's where your uniqueness can shine and people can get a lot from that. So until next time, take a look at Bryan's page. We'll have all of his stuff linked in the show notes here. And if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to us and we'll get connected, get you connected to him. Additionally, Bryan, last piece was you're doing a fundraising for Maui, correct?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to make a update video on that. I completely
Yeah.
forgot.
So I noticed that
Definitely
you had
doing that
that.
soon. Mhm.
Yeah, I noticed that you have a page, a live link inside of your profile on YouTube. So
Mhm.
people can go there as well to try to help out all those people that are dealing with the fires that have obviously caused a lot of devastation. So everybody that's on board and want to help someone else support a thing, you guys can take a look at that as well. So until next time.